You know, somebody sent us this Obama depopulation program clip. We're going to go to that in a moment, but I'm going to take a couple more calls, and then we're going to get to that. Solomon in Brazil, you're on the line, sir.
Thank you very much, Brother Bermas. Thank you, and God bless you, and my best regard for your distinguished audience. Listen, you and Alex Jones need to see yourself like contemporary historians. You are recording for the future the real story, what is really happening. Today is a day that we should really consider that we live in infamy, and it's even worse because it's a self-inflicted mortal wound.
I agree.
I have relatives that one relative that have survived the wars of ghetto, and he always said that he was regretful because the uprising was too late. If they have done it sooner, and with all the TV cameras available today, the whole world has had a much more shocking reality check. And that's what really happened in our country.
No, it needs to happen, but we're so soft, man. We're so soft. I mean, we're softer than a marshmallow.
So, Brother Bermas and Brother Jones, please still be angry, very angry. We have to be angry because this is a self-inflicted mortal wound in a day that will live in infamy. Thank you very much, Brother Bermas. Thank you.
You've got it. You've got it. Let's go to Jim in Arkansas. Jim, you're on the line.
Hello there, Jason.
How you doing?
First, I wanted to thank you guys for the work you've done, particularly you, since I heard you're going on sabbatical here for a little while.
Yes, yes.
Also, I was playing around on Thomas.gov last hour. Mm-hmm. Would you guys like to know how your representative voted on the bill today?
Let's hear it.
Okay, go to Thomas.gov. On the home page, the very last item on the center column is roll call votes. Get that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get, the first section is House. It's the 111th Congress, and you only have a choice of first session.
Mm-hmm.
The very first thing that comes up is H.R. 2454. The first column is roll, R-O-L-L. It happens to be number 477 is that roll call vote. You hit that, and it gives you the yays and nays by party of how they voted today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious because of the motorhead that represents the Central Arkansas District voted for it.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yes, the other three guys here voted against it, one Republican, two Democrats.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you know, this isn't, well, the thing is, it's not a partisan bill, but then the media will play it up as it was just the Republicans that were trying to go against this. No, again, no one got to read the bill. 300 pages were added at 3:09 a.m. They started debating on the House floor. I believe I got here at about 11:50, so it had to be at 1 p.m. time. So you literally had less than 12 hours to read 300 pages and then get there. And that's if you read the entire other part of the bill. It's absolutely impossible. And then they didn't release it. They said that they released it at 3:09, but it was tough to even get a copy. You would have had to go print out a copy. I'm not even sure if it was available online. You probably had to jump through hoops. I'm not even sure. They probably just posted the revisions, this afternoon?
Right.
Did they even post the revisions? I mean, the first of all, the bill without the 300-page amendment was nightmarish, okay? It was a total carbon tax on everything you do. You're already going to allow people to come into your home and re-regulate all your energy sources. People don't realize the energy is going to cost more now. They're openly saying it everywhere. I'm reading articles in the beginning of the week that they're telling you that you're going to be using less energy, but your bill is going to quadruple in less than 10 years. How is that possible? I mean, oh my God. You're going to use less energy, but your bill's going to go up 4 times. So in other words, you're going to use half as much power. So really your energy bill is going to be, for the energy you work, is going to go up 8 times. And you're making less and less and less every year with less and less benefits, sir.
Right. Right. I mean, you guys are waking people up. There's no doubt
we're trying.
about that.
We're trying, man. But you know what? It's just like I'm talking to Solomon over here, and he's like, we need an uprising. Dude, we are really that soft. They're literally taking out dodgeball in most school districts because the kids can't handle it. They're banning goggles for swimming in some places because it might snap off and take somebody's eye out. I mean, come on. It drives me nuts. You know, I was one of those guys that I played sports as a kid, and I looked forward to the 30 minutes that I got for recess to go play dodgeball with my friends. I looked forward to kickball. I'm serious, and it really built a lot of character for me, in my opinion, because it set a goal for yourself. You practiced hard. You were learning a skill. You know, you were doing a physical activity. You didn't always win. You learned a lot of life lessons out there on the ball field. But now it's like, I don't want to touch a ball. It might hurt my hand.
Well, I was lucky enough in high school to get to play with a future NBA player, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would be neat. You know, listen, there's just so much, and they demonize sports, you know, but at some level, they use it too, because it's like, you relate with all these sports, so you start watching it at an older age. You're playing it less, you're watching it more, you're playing it less, you're watching it more, and you still identify with these people, but on a different level, and all of a sudden, it's literally made you into a docile couch potato that cares about nothing else, and didn't take those life lessons to heart, that didn't really learn anything, that didn't gain any character. So, you know, man, I hope that we're good and that we're going to come back from this. And I hope that the people that tell me we're getting the government we deserve because we're so asleep are wrong, because I don't deserve this. My family doesn't deserve this. We're in the know.
It happens occasionally where they will basically backtrack after they pass bills. I hope the listeners understand that. It's not over necessarily.
That's right. Well, you look at the GIVE Act, for instance. It passed through the House, and then they put even more stuff into the Senate. But when it came down to the final Senate bill, they did have to take out the compulsory language. They did take out the Citizen Electronic Identification Verification Act that was embedded in there. So a lot of the stuff that was passed by the House came out for the Senate. So we still have a shot here. 1-800-833-6354. That's 1-800-833-6354. Just let them know that you do not want this climate change bill to pass in the Senate. I thank you for the call.
I will.
Hey, thank you, Jim. We're going to go to Charles, Eric, Lenny, and more. But first, I want to play this clip. It was sent by the guys over at the Infowars team. Hit it.
So we'll do the same format. It'll be 3 minutes, and then time for questions. We'll start with Mr. Chaitkin.
Anton Chaitkin. I'm a historian and the history editor for Executive Intelligence Review. President Obama has put in place a reform apparatus reviving the euthanasia of Hitler Germany in 1939 that began the genocide there. The apparatus here is to deny medical care to elderly, chronically ill, and poor people, and thus save, as the president says, $2 to $3 trillion by taking lives considered not worthy to be lived, as the Nazi doctors said. Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel and other avowed cost cutters on this panel also lead a propaganda movement for euthanasia headquartered at the Hastings Center, of which Dr. Emanuel is a fellow. They shape public opinion and the medical profession to accept a death culture such as the Washington state law passed in November to let physicians help kill patients whose medical care is now rapidly being withdrawn in the universal health disaster. Dr. Emanuel's movement for bioethics and euthanasia and this council's purpose directly continue the eugenics movement that organized Hitler's killing of patients and then other costly and supposedly unworthy people. Dr. Emanuel wrote last October 12th that a crisis, war, and financial collapse would get the frightened public to accept the program. Hitler told Dr. Brandt in 1935 that the euthanasia program would have to wait until the war began to get the public to go along. Dr. Emanuel wrote last year that the Hippocratic Oath should be junked. Doctors should no longer just serve the needs of the patient. Hoche and Binding, the German eugenicists, exactly said the same thing to start the killing. You on the council are drawing up the procedures list to be used to deny care, which will kill millions if it goes ahead in the present world crash. You think, perhaps, the backing of powerful men, financiers, will shield you from accountability, but you are now in the spotlight. Disband this council and reverse the whole course of this Nazi revival now.
All right, there you have it, folks. I mean, that guy lays it right out there, and it is a Nazi revival. This is it. And it's not based on, white Germanic power, okay? This one's based on the elite ruling and they don't care if you're white, okay? They know that they can get away with more if they're killing brown people. Okay, that's why they do it. That's why they tested things on African Americans. That's why they ran a eugenics program in Africa. That's why they dehumanized people from South America and Mexico. Okay, that's why they're in the Middle East bombing brown people in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq. That's why, because they know they can get away with it on a higher level, on an upper echelon, if you will. But that doesn't mean that you're saved because of the tone of your skin. They don't care about you either, I promise you. Charles in California. Charles, you're on the line.
Hey, man.
Hey.
So before I say what I was going to say, where'd you get that clip from? It was pretty strong stuff right there.